y'all, it's Katie. Welcome back to From My Vanity and welcome to a project painting challenge finale. Now I'm sure it's been a while, so I'm sure you guys have forgotten, but I started the As You Wish project painting challenge. This is the longest project painting challenge that I've ever done, and it's been a good lesson for me to tell myself to not participate in project painting challenges that are quite this long, mainly because I just got bored. You know, about 2-3 months ago I was just like, do I have to use that product again? So I feel like this project painting was just a little long for me, but like I said when I started, I never did one this long, so I just wanted to try it out. Now I know, but that's not what this video is about. We're going to be discussing the finale and show you guys where I got the final end zone, or did I make my goal when it came to the project or the products that I was trying to pan. And I should clarify, I wasn't trying to pan and finish everything. I had different goals. You can go watch my original video if you want to hear all of them. So that's what we're going to be going through today, and I can share with you guys if I made it, if I didn't, and what I'm going to do with the products after this video. So let's just go ahead and begin with the very first thing. I don't remember exactly the order I went in, but I'm just going to start with the first thing. The really fun thing about the As You Wish challenge, I really encourage you to go check it out because I actually took polls on my Instagram and you guys decided the products that I was going to be trying to pan. So if you ever want to see that again, please let me know down in the comments if you want to see me do a challenge like this again, and I'll just pick products that I want to try and complete and I'll do a project pan, but you guys get to decide what I focus on. I'll definitely do it shorter, but I definitely like the concept of you guys being the final say. So anyway, let's just jump right into it. The first product that I was trying to complete was the Burberry little lipstick sample that I have, and I'll go ahead and put it on the screen here to show you guys where I began with it. I still had a lot left, but this is a sample size, so my goal was to finish it completely because I feel like that was pretty realistic considering it is a little deluxe sample. And today, here is where we are at. There is just the teeniest, littlest, tiniest dome, and apparently a itsy bitsy little hair sticking out there as well. There's just this tiny little dome left, but it is pretty much completely gone. I didn't want to use it anymore once I got to this point because when I was using it, I was like scraping my lips with the sides, and it was kind of ruining the look of the lipstick because you would get lines in it. It wasn't pleasant. It's done to me. I'm not the one to go and like scrape out. I don't need this product that bad. It was nice. It was really great lips product. I really liked it. It was very moisturized. Would I ever repurchase this? No, but it's very nice to finish this and get it out of my collection. And I'm super happy to have one thing completely done. Okay, I messed with the lighting because I feel so dark, but I think it's just this lip color that's totally washing me out. Anyway, let's move on. The next thing that I got was the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Powder Foundation. I wanted to finish this completely up. Here is where I started with. I don't think I had much, if I remember correctly. I didn't have much to go, so this was kind of definitely a shoo-in, and it is done. I really did like this powder. It is a shame that they're discontinuing it from my knowledge, that they are getting rid of this, but honestly I'm not too broken up about it because I have discovered a new favorite that will easily take the place of this, so I'm not broken up about it. But it was a very nice powder foundation. But I am excited to have finished it up, and it's now can go into my empties and it's out of my collection. Okay, next up I picked a foundation. I picked two foundations and you guys picked the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation. This is one that is being discontinued, and here's where we started. You couldn't really tell because this is a little bottle and it's like, you know, all the foundation is stuck on the sides, but I used it a couple times. I will admit though, I didn't use it as much as I had hoped. There's definitely a lot more product in here that was left than I expected, because after I filmed that video I went and pushed everything down and it's like up to here. True, the middle is a little, you know, hollowed out, but there's still a good chunk of it left. But at this point, I am going to go ahead and declutter it out of my makeup and maybe pass it along to one of my sisters, because while it is my shade, there's something about the undertone that anytime I wore it, I didn't like how the overall undertone of my face looked. It looked very off. But with that said, I love how this applies. So if this wasn't my correct color, I would have, one, definitely used it a lot more, so could have potentially finished it up, but two, I would have enjoyed it using it and whatnot. So overall, I really wish I could like this, but there's, like I said, something with the undertone is totally off, so I'm not going to force myself to use it, and that's the biggest reason why there really isn't much progress on here. I think I wore it maybe, I don't know, 10 times over the course of this challenge, and I was just like, why am I making myself? There's so many foundations I enjoy that when I put them on, I enjoy how they wear, and then I also like how they look, like the undertone and everything, whereas this, there was just something off about it, just the undertone, man. Okay, moving right along. Next up, I had the CoverFx Custom Blot Drops. And here is where I began this adventure trying to finish it up. And as you can see, it's mostly done. So I feel like I should have been able to finish it. But here I sit. And I think the biggest reason why it's kind of stuck here and I just didn't bother finishing, honestly, I haven't touched it in about a month, is because it's getting to the point where it's very hard to get it up into the little applicator. I feel like it's just, I don't know, such a pain. I get all these air bubbles, and so I was just like, whatever, I'm done. And on top of that, another reason I just was like, I'm done with it is because I never really saw a difference. There were so many days I put this on one half of my face and nothing on the other, and maybe the teensiest bit of a difference. And then some days, literally, they both look the same. So with that in mind, I was just like, what's the point of using this? So once it became hard to use, I was just like, you know what, I'm done. I've used it. I've gotten my money out of it. I feel like I've, you know, forced myself to try and see if it makes a difference, to try and see if I liked it enough. And I've just come to the point where I just don't care to use it. So this is done in my eyes. It's going in my empties. There's just such a little bit left. I don't care. And like I said, I just never noticed a difference, which was really disappointing because I was expecting great things out of this. Now, granted, at this point in time, I'm not super oily, but even when I was oily and using this, I never really noticed that big a difference. Okay, next up is a Smashbox Photo Finish Lid Primer in white. I tried to use this a couple times, but I think it's just either the formula is too old or something, because anytime I used this on my lid, when I was blending it out, it didn't blend out the nicest. So after probably 3-4 times of trying to use this and having to just wipe it off and, you know, go in with another white eyelid primer, I was just like, I'm not going to force myself to try to use this for the purposes of the challenge. So it's done in my eyes. I'm just going to go ahead and put it in my declutter pile or my throwaway pile, because I think I might have mentioned at the beginning of this project painting challenge, but it's rather old and I was just trying to get some use out of it before I officially threw it away. So since the formula is just so difficult to use, I feel like it's old. I'm gonna throw it away. Okay, so next up, I also grabbed the Becca, or you guys decided for me, the Becca Undereye Brightening Corrector, and I just wanted to see a significant dip in this. So this is how I began it. I bought it thinking that I would use it a lot, and then I just always forgot to use it. So I wanted to put it into this challenge to see if that could get me to get in the habit of using it, and I'll also see if it was worth keeping and see if it did anything for my under eyes. And here is where we are at. As you can see, there is definitely a significant dip. I've used it a bunch. There were days where I used it on one side and on the other, days that I wore it both. And something I discovered is that it really depends on the concealer you put over it. If you're very careful to not put too much, I feel like if I put too much, it actually caused my concealer on top to crease more. And even though I used like a concealer and a setting powder that I know do not crease, I could see creasing and also just like a funny texture. I don't know if it's because I had something underneath it and then I tried to blend something on top of it that, you know, this had already kind of dried. It just made little texture. I could just see texture that I knew wasn't there, and that when I just use concealer, I don't ever see. So something about this just doesn't jive with me. The days I use this, it's like, yes, maybe a little bit brighter, but not that much to make it worth the effort of putting it on and then trying to make sure I paired it correctly with a concealer and a powder to make sure it kind of went on effortlessly. And then also too, like I said, I feel like more times than not when I use this, it was a little funky trying to blend stuff on top of it. While I did do my goal, I feel like, and I got a nice significant dip in here, I think I'm just going to declutter this, because knowing what I do know now, trying to make myself use it over the last couple months, I just don't enjoy using it. So I'm just going to declutter it. Okay, super exciting. I was trying to hit pan on the full brow, what is it called? Brow powder. I started here with no real pan, and honestly, not too much of a dip. Like you can see a little bit of where I'd used it previously, but I really hadn't used it. And today I'm super excited to share with you the itty bittiest little teeniest tiniest baby pan. Can you guys even see that? I'll be sticking up close-ups. But yeah, I do have pan and I was super excited. Now obviously I kind of focused on one spot to get that pan, but still, I used it enough to see pan, and I'm super excited about that. Now, having used this powder over the last couple of months, do I enjoy it? Do I like it? What are my thoughts after kind of focusing on this and trying to make sure I get good use out of it? I feel like the tone of this is a little off for me. Anytime I use this, I feel like my brows look too warm for my natural brows, because my natural brow is very dark. It's almost leaning on like black scale more than brown. And while yes, I know my hair is more of that brown, it does, I think, lean a little bit more on the cool side. And I don't know, there's just, anytime I wore this, I just was like, whoa, those brows are a little warm. If I found a better brow product or brow powder that fits my brow hairs better, then I'll definitely declutter this because I won't need it. But since this is the only one I have, I'll hold on to it. But yeah, I was super duper excited that I have itsy bitsy little baby pan. Okay, so last up, I hope I'm not forgetting anything, but this is the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Medium Deep Bronzer. I have had it in previous project panning challenges, and this is where I began with this challenge. And I wanted to see if I could just extend the pan. And I'm excited to say that I definitely got a ton of use out of this, but I'm gonna have to look side by side. I think the pan is bigger. I definitely, you know, in using it, I feel like I just kind of used it in general. The pan here didn't widen that much, but I definitely, the sides of it and just using it, I know I've used this a ton. Like out of all the products that I had in my project pan, I use this almost consistently the entire project pan. So I used it a ton. So even though it might not look that much difference, I feel like it's probably a big difference in just going down, if that makes sense. So I feel like I got a lot of great use out of this product. It's definitely a bronzer, not really a contour. I don't like it when I use it to contour. I used it to bronze my face today, and I really do like it. So I'm gonna hold on to it. I'll probably put in another project pan because there's something about this, I feel like, I don't know, I want to finish this. This is very old in my collection, so at this point either I need to finish it or throw it away, and I don't want to throw it away. I'm still enjoying it. It's still a really great product, so I'm gonna hold on to it and maybe put in another project pan to see if I can finish it up. I don't know, I'm just really kind of dead set on completely finishing this up, and this will be the very first bronzer that completely finished up, I think. Yeah, I think it would be. So I just kind of want to have that award under my belt of finishing. I don't know. I'm gonna hold on to it and probably include it in a future project panning challenge. Okay, so that is my As You Wish project panning challenge finale. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Some of these products were a big disappointment for me because I feel like I either just didn't enjoy using it and so I just stopped altogether because I'm not really in the mood of forcing myself to use makeup when I have so much fun makeup I like, or it was a little harder to get through than I thought. But overall, I feel like I still did get some good, get through some products and, was able to try out and kind of attest that they were too old and whatnot. So overall, I'm very happy with this project panning challenge. Like I said, it was way too long for my preferences. I definitely got very bored and it was a little more tedious the last month or two. But overall, it was a success in my eyes and I got to try these products that are either a little old or just being forgotten in my collection, and it was just fun to use. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please forgive me if the lighting is all over the place. I don't know if it's my lipstick that's throwing off the lighting and making it look so washed out, or my neon liner, because I feel like anytime I wear neon makeup in videos, my lighting is just so off, and I usually don't have this much trouble. Like, I know my settings that tend to work, and today they are not working. So I don't know if it is that, or like I said, my lipstick is crazy. But anyway, I really do apologize for the lighting. I'll see what it looks like in the computer, and hopefully it looks better than it does in the viewfinder, because the viewfinder looks rough. But anyway, yeah, like I said, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm definitely gonna be doing another project panning challenge, so stay tuned for the intro video. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you guys missed seeing an updated video. I didn't do one. It was a long project panning challenge, but I didn't do one because I was at that point getting a little old and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm only halfway through, so I didn't do one. But let me know if you missed it. I will try to do it for my next project panning challenge, but I'd love to get your feedback down below if you guys like to see an update. But anyway, with all that ramble out of the way, thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up on your way out, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye guys.